language.
Jama'a masu kallon labaran NTA Hausa barkanmu da warhaka. Ni ne
Ekukale lo de yin wa isikude de ya.
Igbo murum kachano.
Broadcasting in the language you understand better. Our programs. Transmitting on the Star Times platform 24 hours.
Àwọn onímọ̀ nípa ètò ẹ̀kọ́ lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà.
Hukumar tara kudaden haraji ta ƙasa.
Alanye na ọchịchị mba United Arab Emirates UAE.
The only channel that speaks your language.
Anyị ga-eweta akụkọ gbasara ọrịa ahụ nke wakporo obodo anyị.
Kálejì, mo kọ́kùnrin, mo kóbìnrin, mo kí ọmọdé, mo sì kí àgbàlagbà.
Mu ci gaba da yi ma rundunar sojin ƙasar nan addu'a.
Ẹkúlẹ̀ yìí tèmi ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò wa ètò yín ètò obìnrin tó dángájá.
Waye fi cancanta a ɗauka a matsayin ɗan aikin cikin gida.
Jama'a
masu kallon tashar NTA Hausa barkamu da warhaka.
Kí ni ayẹyẹ ọdún iléyá tá máa ń ṣe lọ́dọọdún yìí rọ̀ mọ́?
NTA, you can't beat the rich.
Imagine a station where you access information. Think of a station that creates awareness for national development. Imagine a station that prepares you for a bright and greater future. A station for all ages. Documentaries,
honor reserved for men of distinction.
The Committee on Sports and Human Development to conduct thorough and comprehensive investigation into the circumstances surrounding the death of this young, vibrant, highly cerebral and promising Nigerian.
Leaders of tomorrow.
Return the members of the House of Assembly. Return the members of the Federal House of Representatives.
Campaign wrap-up for close call balloting in the Treasure Base. Plus, Chief Information Manager tells his foot soldiers to log on. A warm welcome to NTA Network News. I am Elizabeth Banu. Thank you for joining us. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has been accorded a special recognition by the National Defense College. Decorating the Vice President at the State House, Commandant of the College, Rear Admiral Sami Alade, says the award is to appreciate Vice President Yemi Osinbajo who delivered a lecture at the graduation ceremony of Course 24 during the year and his contribution to the development of the college. It will be recalled that the Vice President dwelled on the mandate of the military in promoting democratic practices.
Of the college, we believe that that was a special, event, and for that reason and for subsequent things he's going to do for the college, that award was instituted and awarded to him.
Also at the Vice President's office was the delegation of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Juma'at of Nigeria, led by the Amir Masood Aderenli Fashola, who is part of the commemoration of the 100 years of existence of the movement in Nigeria. The Amir says they are convinced about the federal government's programs, especially on agriculture and efforts at revamping the economy. He also emphasized on the need for religious tolerance.
To help your fellow being. The only way you can attain to the pleasure of God is to work at all times for the good of all mankind. God is God of all creation, and He will love you when you love His creation and do good at all times to His creation. So when you see people fighting on the basis of religion, they're only fighting for their own selfish interests.
Senate has urged the federal government to provide adequate and improved medical facilities and experienced personnel in all NYSC orientation camps across the country. National Assembly correspondent Waziri Zayano reports that this was contained in an order raised at plenary on Thursday.
Senator Adeshola Adeye raised point of order lamenting the recent death of 3 youth corps members at different orientation camps in Kano, Bayelsa and Zamfara states.
The death of 3 corps members, Ms. Ifedolapo Amonke Oladepo, Ms. Elechi Chiyerom, and Mr. Ukeme.
I am consoled by the fact that the President had ordered investigation into this very terrible act of mischief and irresponsibility.
It's high time we have to look and overhaul the NYSC as an agency of government.
Mandate the Committee on Sports and Human Development to conduct thorough and comprehensive investigation into the circumstances surrounding the death of these young, vibrant, highly cerebral and promising Nigerians.
In another point of order, Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu made few remarks on the status of the current constitutional amendment effort.
On the issue of local government administration, Section 7 of the Constitution was amended. The amendments in this section were essentially meant to strengthen local government administration in Nigeria by elaborately providing a uniform 3-year tenure for elected local government councils officials.
In other lead debates considered by the plenary, Senator Matthew Orogode sponsored a bill for an act to back the establishment of the National Institute for Hospitality and Tourism, while Senator Abu Ibrahim's bill on the establishment of the National Livestock Bureau also passed through second reading.
The implication here, Mr. President, is that our hospitality industry will be revamped and given the necessary muscles to improve its present demands, and the possibility of a job explosion in the sector should also be guaranteed.
Due to the absence of the functional animal identification and management system in Nigeria, Nigeria cannot participate in the export of meat and other dairy products because we have not been able to abide by the international standards as laid down by the OIE and other regulatory bodies.
The much anticipated confirmation hearing of Ibrahim Magu as chairman of the Economic Financial Crimes Commission EFCC did not hold, as the Senate did not list it on the order paper. From National Assembly, Waziri Zayan, NTA News.
The House of Representatives has passed at second reading a bill for an act to make it mandatory for the president or governors to nominate ministers or commissioners within 30 days of taking oath of office. Members at Thursday's plenary urged the federal government to suspend the ban on importation of vehicles through land borders. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo reports.
The sponsor of the bill on quick constitution of cabinet by the executive, sponsored by Representative Solomon Adelu from Abia State, explains that delay slows down the machinery of governance.
This bill, when passed, Mr. Speaker, will require the President and the governors to attach the portfolio for each person nominated.
A bill for an act to protect legislators from losing their seats after defection to another political party, sponsored by Representative Edward Pojok from Plateau State, and that for an act to establish the Chartered Institute of Pension Practitioners of Nigeria, sponsored by Representative Hassan Shekarau from Kaduna State, passed at second reading.
By curtailing the rights of members to even move to another party, you are even curtailing their fundamental right.
I think that section has even created confusion in the Supreme Court. I read that judgment, it didn't make sense to me.
The need for a regulatory body that will take care of the pension practitioners so that the industry is sanitized.
The House mandated its Committee on Healthcare Services to investigate the compliance rate of health maintenance organizations to the National Health Insurance Scheme in the past 8 years, as moved by Representative Chike Okafo from Imo State.
It means that the HMOs and service providers have been paid well over 351 billion naira.
Members also resolved to investigate Nigeria's lost artifacts, moved by Representative Ibrahim Ishaka from Ogun State. The House Committee on Banking and Currency submitted its report on 420.7 billion naira 2016.
Ahead of Saturday's rerun election into the senatorial and state assembly seats in Rivers State, the All Progressives Congress has held its grand finale rally in Port Harcourt. Abdullah Garba reports.
Thank you. APC!
APC National Chairman Chief John Oedegi Oyegun led other party leaders, including governors and National Assembly members, to ginger up party members for the election. They advised people of Rivers State to vote in APC candidate for their experience and for the state to be part of what they call the winning train at all levels.
Are we going to let them? No. It is within your powers. Return the members of the House of Assembly. Return the members of the Federal House of Representatives. Return our senators, because we need them, led by Magnus Abe.
We have come, we have seen, and we shall conquer on Saturday. Indeed, all the states should ensure that they align with the federal government. You know what the federal government is doing for us, not just in Rivers.
There were messages of support from the Senate President and the Speaker House of Representatives and other party leaders, like the Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi.
My phones will be off on Saturday. Don't call me. The only time you will call me is from 6 p.m. The only time you will call me is what? To tell me how we have won.
We are bringing the balm of peace to the states. We will ensure that their votes are counted.
The rerun election on Saturday is for senatorial and some House of Representatives and State Assembly seats. Abdullahi Garba Kudu, NTA News.
Yet on the Rivers State election, the Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, says about 28,000 officers and men have been deployed for that civic duty. He was in Port Harcourt to brief them on purposeful outing.
The IGP also directed all the policemen and other security agencies attached to politicians and other political appointees be profiled, withdrawn, and be used to provide additional support to the elections.
We have the same objective to ensure that this election is conducted with adequate security, provided at all levels of the election.
The IGP also called on the people of the state to cooperate with the security officers to ensure a peaceful and smooth conduct of the elections. Representative of the sister agencies in Rivers State, Brigadier General Hamisu Hassan, and the Rivers State Commissioner of Police, Francis Adesonya, assured the IG of full compliance with his directives. In Port Harcourt, Vivian Izadife, NTA News.
And ahead of the rerun elections in some constituencies in Rivers State, the Independent National Electoral Commission says all is set for the election on Saturday. Deputy Director Publicity, INEC, Nick Dazang, stated this on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria. Abdul Malik Adio reports.
With less than 48 hours to the rerun elections in 3 senatorial districts, 8 federal constituency and 10 state constituencies in Rivers State, experts on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria are calling on all stakeholders to maintain peace and orderliness at the polls.
For us to have robust representation for the people of Rivers and by extension the people of the South-South in the National Assembly, we need to conclude these elections.
The assurances are good, but the narrative from the key actors, has it changed? It hasn't.
The police are there for the people. They're there for the process. And the policemen who are going to the polling units, about 1,081 polling units, are not going to be armed. They are there to ensure confidence, to ensure that there is free and fair election.
Violence does not occur in a vacuum. This is the message. No politician will mourn the death of a Port Harcourt citizen who dies in the course of this quest for power.
And I appeal to all the political class to calm down. Let the election be free, fair, and credible. That's the only way this state can move forward.
They stressed the need for the electorate to collaborate with security agencies during and after the elections to calm fears of unrest in the state. In Abuja, Abdul Malik Adio, NTA News.
On other fronts, the federal government hopes to use the national identity card as voters' card in future elections and urging stakeholders with identity management system to accelerate scaling it up into the national database. It was Vice President Yemi Osinbajo's message at a policy roundtable meeting on the matter for governance. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
This is a meeting of all agencies in the country which statutory duties require collection of data for the purpose of identification. The Deputy Chief of Staff to the President, Ade Baye, who represented the Vice President, says government recognizes the importance of moving towards a digital government like most developed countries.
The development of identity programs in Nigeria will greatly help the nation leverage on its potential to improve security of lives and properties, advance service delivery and fight poverty and corruption. Achieving full-scale national identity management will therefore boost our efforts at better tracking the movement of people while minimizing issues with external border controls and terrorism.
But Nigeria, I'm afraid, has not gone too far as expected of her status with regard to our population, with regard to our exposure, with regard to the level of our civilization.
The policy roundtable is at the instance of the National Identity Management Commission and the World Bank.
We see it as one of the critical vehicles for helping to support the efforts of the governments to promote social inclusion.
Nigerians to go out to obtain the national identification number on our own path with all the other agencies. We are trying our best to harmonize all the identities so that we can remove duplicates.
Representatives of the various agencies pledged their readiness to be part of the identity management in Nigeria. From the banquet hall of the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
Minister of Information and Culture Lai Mohammed says his ministry must leverage on the unique power of the new media to disseminate government programs and policies to the people. It was at a meeting with resident information officers assigned from ministries, departments and agencies in Abuja. Anthony Forson reports.
The meeting is coming ahead of preparations to launch a new information dissemination app slated for December 15th. The minister said the information dissemination app has become necessary because Nigeria is underreported.
Unless you show a very strong presence there, you are not communicating to the world. We as a government, as the information ministry, that we leverage on this unique technology to inform the world about what we are doing.
The minister harped on the need to have rich content to make the app, titled Federal Government Information App, attractive. Said workshops will be organized for the resident information officers to build their capacity on how to contribute effectively from their respective MDAs. Director Information Technology in the ministry, Veronica Adeyemo, said the app will be a hub for credible and timely information that will propel authentic narrative from government. The software developer, Falakwe Olawole, assured that the new app will provide Nigeria the opportunity to articulate its story its own way. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
The federal cabinet of the Buhari administration has clocked 1 year in office, and the information and culture component, which is the engine room of the administration's governing machine under Lai Mohammed, has had a robust time selling the President Buhari administration in making Nigeria a better place for the citizens.
As very vital part of the police administration, because no matter what this administration does, until and when it is out there in the public domain, they have done nothing.
Details of this will come up in a special documentary on the NTA Network service at 10:30. All NTA stations are to link up. The federal government has declared Monday, 12th December 2016 as public holiday to mark the Eid al-Mawlud celebration. Minister of Interior, Lieutenant General Abdulrahman Dambazo, who made the declaration on behalf of the federal government, enjoined Muslim faithful and Nigerians in general to cooperate and join hands with President Muhammadu Buhari as he works to build a strong, united and peaceful nation. General Dambazo urged all Nigerians to use the occasion to pray for peace across the nation, while calling on all to be patient and supportive of the present administration for the successful implementation of its programs. The minister wishes all Nigerians a happy Eid al-Mawlud. You can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app if you can download on your Android device and at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Play Store if you use devices with iOS. NTA and NIGCOMSAT on their marks for better deals in satellite broadcasting. That is when we return. Stay with us.
Do you know that importing consumables and domestic products kill local manufacturing and negatively affect the growth of the economy? That some imported products are dangerous to your health? That building factories can generate massive employment and grow the economy? Buying locally made products and services means investing back in the economy. Thousands of Nigerians are innovative and can take Nigeria to the next level. Growing the economy starts with you and I. Raise the standard. Grow the economy. Buy made in Nigeria.
Airtel, the smartphone network. Season's greetings from FCMB, My Bank and I.
Hello? Welcome to the M6 Challenge. Using your new Gioni M6, carry out everything on that list, starting now. Congratulations, you have passed the test.
Gioni
M6 with a 5,000 milliampere battery that lets you go on for 2 days on a single charge. Gioni M6, always in power.
These instinct-formed importers of bulk pesticides, agrochemicals, feed supplements, feed concentrates, feed additives, premixes, fish meal, etc., and the public that they should visit Veterinary Medicines and Allied Products, VMAP Directorate of NAFDAC, Isolo, Lagos, as from 5th December 2016 to submit application for their import permit for the year 2017. Guidelines can be accessed online at www.nafdac.gov.ng. Companies and individuals are advised to comply strictly with the stipulated guidelines, as default will attract severe sanction. NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation. Management announcer.
The Future Assured project and its components, Get Involved, initiated by the wife of the President, Her Excellency Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, is not relenting in championing the cause of Nigerian women and children. Its provision of free medical screening, educational support, and the fight against malnutrition, especially in the Northeast, has indeed informed international recognition, partnerships, and awards.
We are very grateful and appreciative for your wonderful gesture you have accorded to us.
With Future Assured, Nigerian women and children are assured of a bright future.
Future is assured when we join hands to promote the health of our women and children. Get involved.
Get involved and support the Future Assured initiative. Future Assured, promoting and protecting the lives of Nigerian women and children.
Thank you for staying with us on NTA Network News. As the media and telecommunication industry take new dimensions, especially in this era of digitization, the Voice of Nigeria has been commended for living up to the times. FCTA Minister Mohammed Musa Bello said this at a session with the management of the organization in Abuja. Ogwa Vivian Oyedibia reports.
The minister said he was with them as important corporate citizens within the Federal Capital Territory and whose feedback machine will always be used for improving on development.
Times where telecommunication and media and overall information dissemination has taken dimensions that 10, 15 years ago all of us never ever envisaged that it was going to expand in the way and manner it has expanded. But I'm very happy that all of you have lived up to the times and will continue to live up to the times.
Director General Voice of Nigeria, Osita Okechukwu, while commending the minister for his belief and contributions to the anti-graft war, solicited support in the areas of infrastructure, particularly as the organization prepares to move into its own office building, having been tenants to the radio house for the past 55 years.
It's that anti-graft war that we are benefiting from. So those who are stealing public property should know that it doesn't pay. And if Mr. President did not come to fight the anti-graft war, this building will not come to Voice of Nigeria.
Mohammed Musa Bello promised to assist them upgrade facilities and facilitate a smooth move to their new office complex. In Abuja, Ogwa Vivian Onyedibia, NTA News.
The Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, says it is set to patronize the Nigerian communications satellite operator, NIGCOMSAT, for transmission of its programs. The resolution was reached after assessment of facilities by the management team of the NTA to the establishment. Adebola Brookslyn Sunday has details.
The visit is in response to a call by NIGCOMSAT for NTA, the largest TV network in Africa, to patronize it. Led by the Director General Yakubu Ebo Mohammed, the management team met with that of the hosts before proceeding on a facility tour to assess the level of sophistication of the equipments of NIGCOMSAT.
By looking inwards, we are likely to find things that we didn't know existed or things that we had taken for granted. And that way we can develop, things from within that will serve this country better.
In readiness for the 2017 deadline for digital switchover, the theme was then taken to the direct-to-home facility, DTH, that provides broadcast operators with the infrastructure needed to deliver quality audio and video signals.
NIGECOMSAT understands the essence of backup for broadcasting industry. So we know that is what prevented NTA from coming on board all the time. In the past 5 years that Satellite has been launched, we've worked on that, and we have backup agreements signed with Belarus. We're working with Epistar. We're working with some of our channel partners who work with several satellites to ensure that they will back up for our broadcasting customers at all times.
What we've seen on ground, we can partner in the area of space segment as well as in our ITS DTT deployment.
Adebola, Brooklyn Sunday, NTA News.
Troops of Operation Lafia Dole are recording tremendous success as they advance further into the heart of the dreaded Sambisa forest in what could be described as a final push to finish the remnants of Boko Haram terrorists. Theatre Commander Major General Lucky Irabo stated this while briefing the press on current clearance operations in the theatre. Memuno Garba reports.
Move ahead. Okay, you can take. Okay, wait. Audio. NLE. No audio on it. All right, coming back to you.
Seem to have lost sound on that report. Now, the Chief of Naval Staff Sea Inspection Exercise for 2016 is done and over with. Defense correspondent Isaac Nkuma reports that besides the tactical maneuvers and anti-piracy patrol simulation, it was also a platform for the Nigerian Navy to showcase its fleet. He shares his experience sailing on Nigerian Navy ship Centenary.
It is my first sailing experience, and I'm enjoying every bit of it because the sea is very calm.
NNS Centenary led the pack for this year's exercise, codenamed Eagle Eye. It is an offshore patrol vessel weighing 1,800 metric tons with a capacity to detect vessels within 3,000 nautical miles, as well as recover oil spills and combat fire outbreaks.
Ishmael made several arrests, both against crude oil theft vessels and then also piracy attacks.
The vessel, acquired in 2014 from China, is a great asset to the Navy in its mandate to patrol the more than 850 kilometers of Nigeria's territorial waters along the Gulf of Guinea and securing all national assets from the deep sea to shallow waters. The deck of NNS Centenary was the best spot to chat with the Chief of Naval Staff on the challenges of safeguarding the nation's maritime domain.
You can also attest to the time it took us to proceed from here to where Agbami is. For ships, that's about the fastest they can make. The options available to us have been to deploy partners from the security, maritime security providers who have contributed their vessels for us to use.
While the exercise lasted, life on the ship was normal. Isaac Nkuma, NTA News.
Regional bodies have been urged to come up with policies related to human security response approach that will stem the tide of radicalization as the world grapples with the menace of terrorism. This was the view of participants at a workshop on addressing the root causes of violent extremism, organized by the National Defense College in collaboration with the African Center for Study and Research on Terrorism. Again, Defense correspondent Isaac Nkuma reports.
With the prevailing global security situation, the workshop is propagating alternative processes as the use of force alone cannot defeat violent extremism. Contributors are of the opinion that the African Union, ECOWAS and government at all levels must generate platforms to address the menace.
It is important, therefore, that we take keen interest in these unfolding events with and beyond our borders, which have bearings on our security and national development.
There is the need to get African institutions to help fashion out mechanisms that will serve as response, that will contain, that will combat, and that will prevent violent extremism.
In a related development, Minister of Science and Technology Dr. Obunaya Onu says solution to the current security challenges and the future of Nigeria lies in exploring technological inventions.
Our armed forces, noted for their gallantry and patriotism, should be ready to use made-in-Nigerian goods and services.
The minister said plans are underway for a National Science and Technology Museum and dedicated 24-hour science television station and technology villages across the country to fast-track Nigeria's industrialization quest. In Abuja, Isaac Nkuma, NTA News.
Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar has commissioned some housing units at the Nigerian Air Force 451 station in Jos, aimed at improving the living condition and general well-being of the officers. Priscilla Grumnan reports.
Housing units consist of 6 of 3-bedroom flats for commissioned officers, 12 units of 2-bedroom flats for non-commissioned officers, 6 blocks of 2-bedroom flats for junior non-commissioned officers, as well as that of the commander, which was remodeled and renovated. Air Marshal Abubakar said the commissioning is necessary in order to bridge the gap in accommodation and promised to continue to do more to better their lot.
Our desire is to have the kind of structure we require to be able to deal very decisively with some of the security challenges that have emerged and are likely to emerge.
Plateau State Governor, who performed the commissioning, commended the Chief of Air Staff for his vision of uplifting the officers to a higher pedestal.
To reward somebody that is alive is also an example to those that are working. They will work very hard, and because they are hoping that within the time they are still alive, they will be rewarded like this.
The housing units were named after some dedicated and hard-working officers for their meritorious service to the force and an officer who lost his life in the line of duty. In Jos, Priscilla Grumnan, NTA News.
Over 350 residents of Rumo Dura community in Obiakpo local government area of Rivers State have benefited from a medical program initiated by the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar. Emmanuel Lene reports.
Chief of Air Staff, represented by the Commander 115 Special Operations Group of the Nigerian Air Force Port Harcourt, Air Commodore Paul Dimfuiwa, said the medical outreach is in continuation of the humanitarian services of the Air Force in areas where there are crises and the host communities. He said the choice of Rumodara is in recognition of the enduring cooperation and understanding which the Air Force has enjoyed as one of its host communities, adding that this gesture will open up new chapter in the relationship.
Because of the peaceful environment we enjoy and then the relationship that we enjoy with them, we feel it necessary, and we are directed by the Chief of the Air Staff to provide such medical services to our host communities, let them feel that we are part of them.
We are happy for the medical services extended to my community. Many people were happy, both men and women.
There was health talk on first aid to some common medical emergencies and distribution of treated mosquito nets. The one-day medical outreach featured tests, counseling, eye tests, as well as free glasses, free drugs, and the warming of children. In Rumodara, Emmanuel Lene, NTA News.
Kogi State Government is to collaborate with the Federal Road Safety Corps to ensure zero tolerance on road crashes and gridlock, particularly at flashpoints during the Yuletide season. Governor Yahaya Bello gave the assurance during the official flag-off of road safety campaign in Lokoja. Solomon Ayede reports.
Kogi State, which shares boundaries with 10 states of the Federation, including FCT, is a gateway between the south and northern part of the country. Its strategic location accounts for high vehicular movement crisscrossing the state on daily basis. It is in the light of this that the Zone RS8, comprising of Kwara, Ekiti, and Kogi States, decided to flag off the 2016 Ember Months Road Safety Campaign in Lokoja with the theme, Crash the Crash, Speed Kills.
I can't do it alone. I need the support of CPSAFE, the Civil Defense. I even need the support of traditional rulers. The brigade commander is Dole. They've always been giving us the support.
Governor Yahaya Bello appealed to the federal government to expedite action on the completion of Abuja Lokoja Okene dual carriageway, assuring that his administration has mobilized the State Road Maintenance Agency to rehabilitate the failed portions on Lokoja Okene Highway to complement the effort of the federal government.
Let me use the opportunity to tell Nigerians that we have to be patient when we are on the road.
Stakeholders, in their goodwill messages, resolved to work together to achieve the set goals. The Corps Marshal and his team earlier visited Governor Yahaya Bello in his office, where he was decorated as the patron. Solomon Ayedehi, NTA News.
You're watching NTA Network News. We now join Jennifer in Lagos for more reports. It's over to you, Jennifer.
Elizabeth, good evening and a warm welcome to Lagos. The federal government has been advised to place premium on technical education with a view to tackling unemployment and youth restiveness in the country. Professor of International Relations at the National Open University, Femi Odubanjo, stated this when he delivered a lecture on Beyond Oil, Tackling Unemployment, Inequality and Poverty in Nigeria. It was organized by the School of Communication and Liberal Studies, Lagos State Polytechnic.
Professor Femi Odubanjo said there is need for the government to place less emphasis on paper qualification to pave way for the development of technical know-how in line with science and technology. He, however, advocated infrastructure development in polytechnics and monotechnics to bridge the skills gap in various sectors of the economy.
Since the return of the practically elected governments, there have been some token efforts to return schools to religious organizations. However, no community schools have been returned to their primary owners. The schools as well as public hospitals are still poorly funded.
Other speakers suggested exploiting the potentials of polytechnic education to boost the nation's economy.
The new media is the next level for job, for engagement, for money making.
Rector of the Polytechnic appeals to the federal government to formulate policies that would assist in repositioning polytechnic education for national development.
We must look for ways by which the endemic problems of unemployment, inequality, general poverty, and other socio-economic problems facing the nation can be appropriately tackled.
Some people can be given money to start business, and as a result of that, when they are doing that, they are creating employment.
The international conference is second in series. It was organized by the School of Communication and Liberal Studies, Lagos State Polytechnic.
The security, Lagos State Police Command says it has mapped out effective security strategy to stem criminality during the Yuletide season and beyond. Lagos residents have therefore been assured of their safety and protection as they go about the season. The Public Relations Officer of the Lagos State Police Command, Dolakbo Badmos, made this known in a chat with NTA News in Lagos. Musa Toliat has the details.
The Police Public Relations Officer in Lagos State, Dolakbo Badmos, said the Police Command is taking the statutory responsibility of protecting lives and property a step further by ensuring that criminals do not have a safe haven to unleash mayhem on residents during the Yuletide season.
The leadership of the command has put in place strategies, operational strategies, to ensure that people are safe. Number one is that feasibility policing, and it's going to serve as a deterrent, to people, to criminally minded people, because when they see police everywhere, they will not be able to perform their criminal activity.
The Lagos State Police spokesperson also stressed that the command is not unmindful of the upsurge in traffic robberies in some parts of the state. She emphasized that steps are being taken to check the activities of hoodlums in traffic, while dark spots across the metropolis will be constantly monitored.
The state traffic officer is going to take charge. From moment to moment, you're going to be seeing our power bikes, which will be patrolling within traffic to ensure that no havoc is being done.
Dolakbo Badmos therefore urged Lagos residents to cooperate with the State Police Command by reporting breaches of law and any form of criminality through the Lagos State Emergency Hotlines 767 and 112. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
If you're just joining us, you're watching the NTA Network News. We'll take a break now for some messages, and the news will continue. Stay with us.
This must be one of Mother Nature's greatest gifts. But there's something else it gives us. When we see such beauty, we want to share it with those we love. That's what LG wants you to see. Just what we see now, through our technology. LG OLED TV.
Wow, Fanta! Wow, that great taste! The delicious bubbly Fanta! What could possibly get in our way? Drink your Fanta before someone else does. Enjoy the great tasting Fanta flavors!
It's truck month at Ford, and we've got a Ranger just for you, Vincent. Here's the Workhorse 2.5 petrol single cab with free Ford Protect, a 4-year, 120,000-kilometer service plan. Or the 2.5 petrol-based double cab with 800-millimeter water wading capability, available in manual transmission and with free Ford Protect. So while stocks last, visit Kostaris Motors today. Because, wait for it, thanks Vincent, we've got a tough Ford Ranger just for you.
Hello? Welcome to the M6 Challenge. Using your new Gioni M6, carry out everything on that list. Starting now. Get to the door. Congratulations, you have passed the test.
Gioni M6 with a 5,000 milliampere battery that lets you go on for 2 days on a single charge. Gioni M6, always in power.
Nigerians. Suicide bombers are not spirits. They are not ghosts. They are human beings like you and me. They live amongst us. They are your neighbors. They are your friends today, but terrorists tomorrow. So you must know your neighbor now. Security begins with you and me. Know your neighbor. Be vigilant. Be security conscious. Report suspicious persons, objects, and movements to the police and other security agencies. The security of our nation is a duty for you and me.
If you see something, say something. Nigeria, unite against terrorism. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Thank you for staying with us on NTA Network News. Nigeria's equities market gained 0.25% as the federal government announces intention to float Eurobonds. Details with Vivian on Business News.
Welcome to the Business News segment. African leaders and development partners rose from 3 days of brainstorming on how African countries can achieve agro-allied industrialization with a resolve to focus on the continent's huge agriculture portfolio. At the end of the 11th session of the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, held in Abuja, the common sentiment was that agro-allied industrialization would lead to the attainment of Africa's ultimate development objectives.
Africa can multiply its production of food by just doubling the yields at a farm gate level.
There is need to form a
a tripartite platform among government, the institution of higher learning, and firms to boost innovation.
The president of the African Development Bank, Akinwumi Adesina, also emphasized that agriculture, which contributes over 28% of Africa's GDP, holds the key for accelerated growth, diversification, and job creation for African economies and its people. Meanwhile, data released from the Food and Agriculture Organization shows that food price index for the month of November 2016 declined by 0.43% compared with the figure for October. And to the capital market. Thursday's session on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange ended on a positive note as the all-share index moved northward by 0.25%. And that's business news at this time. Thanks for watching.
Minister of State for Power, Works and Housing, Mustapha Baba Shehuri, says the federal government is ready to partner with any public or private organization towards the upliftment of the standard of education across the country. The minister stated this at the inauguration of laboratories for the Faculty of Engineering, University of Maiduguri, which was built by the Nigerian Liquefied Natural Gas, NLNG. Abubakar Mohammed Musa reports.
The $2 million engineering laboratories is a project of the NLNG University Support Program, which is part of its corporate social responsibility to give support to the development of research and scholarship in leading universities so as to build a better Nigeria. Minister of State for Power, Works and Housing, Mustapha Baba Shehuri, said one of the agenda of the present administration is the advancement of education at all levels, hence the resolve of government to partner with individuals and organizations to explore areas that will be beneficial to students in the country. Commissioning the laboratories, Borno State Governor Kashim Shettima, who was represented by the State Deputy Governor Usman Mohammed Rukwa, described the project as a significant breakthrough for the university, which will go a long way to facilitate academic research. Representative of the Minister of Science and Technology and that of Education says the new edifice built by the NLNG should ginger the university to produce high-class engineers that will compete favorably with their counterparts around the world, and commended the company for investing in education. Managing Director NLNG Tony Atta explained that the University Support Program is a partnership between the company and 6 Nigerian universities, and reiterated their readiness to assist other institutions of learning that have excelled in science and technology. The Vice Chancellor, University of Maiduguri, Professor Ibrahim Abubakar Jodi, who was full of appreciation to the company, assured that the university will not relent in its academic pursuit.
If you want to be made, come to UniMade is a popular adage of the alumnus and undergraduates of the university. And so the commissioning of laboratories at the Faculty of Engineering clearly indicates that the University of Maiduguri has really made its mark in terms of academic excellence. From the University of Maiduguri, Abubakar Mohammed Musa, NTA News.
The Presidential Task Force on Agriculture says the country is making steady progress towards food sufficiency and improving foreign earnings through agriculture. The team, led by the Minister of Agriculture, Audu Obe, and Governor of Central Bank, Godwin Emefiele, was in Ogun State to inspect selected pilot schemes. Lekon Abondi reports.
The Presidential Task Force visited the Ijebu Development Initiative for Poverty Reduction, IDIPR, in Ijebu. They were impressed with the situation in which farmers form themselves into cooperatives and engage in fishery with turnover of over 1 billion naira annually. The Minister of Agriculture and the CBN Governor noted that the federal government will ensure that farmers are assisted to get the desired result in the economic diversification drive.
And there's no farm where you can go and see anything. The farms are in the states, and the states belong to the farmers who are doing the rain work. So this is exciting and promising, and I assure you that from now on, there is only one way forward for economic recovery: agriculture, agriculture, agriculture.
We were also at the farm at Eriwe, where we also talked about our micro, small and medium enterprise loan scheme. It's about 220 billion, and just less than 80 billion of it is utilized. We're going to see to how smallholder farmers can benefit from our Anchor Borrower program through the micro, small, and medium enterprise.
Ogun State Governor Ibikune Amosun and his Kebbi State counterpart agreed that agriculture is the only way for the nation to come out of recession.
If we are able to pump even 1,000 or even 1 millionth of what we have pumped into oil into agriculture, I'm sure we'll be better than this.
In Abeokuta, Leko Agbonde, NTA News.
We take another break to bring you more messages. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Nigeria joins the rest of the world in going digital. This means Nigeria is moving from analog terrestrial TV broadcasting to digital. Now, digital broadcasting gives you clearer pictures, crystal clear sound, and a chance for more channels and more shows to watch. Digital TV is a whole new experience for you and a rich harvest of digital dividends for the nation. Come aboard, Nigeria going digital. Coming to Abuja soon.
Hear the call of change. Stand up, Nigeria. Change is here and it's going to stay. Change begins with you. Oh yeah, make we go. But it's also let the change begin from within. Look at you, Ogeruola. Change begins with you and me. Change begins with me. Change begins with me. Change begins with me.
Thank you for staying with us. ECOWAS has given a pass mark to the conduct of Wednesday's presidential and parliamentary elections in Ghana. Mohammed Ali brings us highlights of ECOWAS' position.
Thank you very much, Studio. The head of ECOWAS Election Observation Mission, Professor Emma Sawyer, just addressed an international press conference not quite long ago here in Accra on the ECOWAS declaration on the election that was held.
Despite the few logistical challenges observed during the 7 December 2016 polls, the mission noted with satisfaction that the Electoral Commission provided the enabling environment for eligible Ghanaians to exercise their franchise in a secure and transparent manner. The 7th presidential election is indeed a milestone towards democratic consolidation in Ghana and demonstrates the maturity of all stakeholders in proper functioning of state institutions in Ghana.
That's what transpired here. Thank you, and over to you in the studio.
Thank you. Now, candidates vying for the post of African Union AU Commission chairperson to face off in a historic public debate tomorrow, Friday, at the AU headquarters in Ethiopia. The 5 contestants are from Botswana, Chad, Equatorial Guinea, Kenya, and Senegal. Also, Syrian army suspends fighting around eastern Aleppo to allow for the evacuation of civilians trapped in the battle zone. Talking sports now, Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed set to boost sports in the ministry as FIFA President Gianni Infantino seeks 48-team format in the 2026 World Cup. Kene Mawudiki brings us details on sports update.
Minister of Information and Culture Lai Mohammed has assured the ministry's sports team of his continued support to excel. The minister gave the assurance in Abuja when he received the ministry's contingent to this year's Federation of Public Service Games, which held in Jos, Plateau State, with the team winning 8 medals made up of 4 silver and 4 bronze.
On our own part, I think we also need to look at, sports in a different perspective and try and see how we can support
the sports club.
The 2015-2016 Nigeria Professional Football League Super 4 tournament continues Friday in Enugu after Thursday's rest day, with Rangers facing Wiki Tourist while Rivers United take on FC Ifanyoba. Rangers are looking for a second consecutive win following their 2-0 defeat of Rivers United on day one, as Wiki Tourist also look to sustain the tempo after beating FC Ifanyoba by 2-1. Following the conclusion of group matches on match day 6 midweek, Sevilla, Porto,